I think I have a world's first record in a Master Duel. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. But we have matched our previous win streak record of 20 wins in a row in Standard Duel this season in Season 21. You can see here we're absolutely killing it overall with a 71% win rate. But we went on this 20 win streak all through Diamond into Master rank, winning our 20th game in a row. And what I'm about to show you is something that, like I said, I don't think I've ever seen before in the game. And honestly, like, I'm just baffled at it. But we look at our match history, you can see here it's been like four days basically since we last played. Just been so busy and trying to do videos for the event. But we played our first game of Master tonight, and it's now almost midnight. I gotta go to bed, so I'll play some more tomorrow. But can we extend this beyond 20 wins? Look at this. The entire log is nothing but W's. All 20 matches on the log dating back to Diamond 5. Nothing but wins. Absolutely crazy. So by the time I post this video, I'll probably play a few more matches, but let's go ahead and take a look at the one match I played tonight. Alright, my first match of Master Rank played on September 20th, late into the evening here. We lose the coin toss, and I'm like, okay, my win streak is probably going to be over. And as soon as I see the Valence field spell, I'm like, okay, this is where the streak ends. And I'm okay with that. You know, we went on a really good run, but this deck puts up a pretty crazy board. They put a field spell on your side of the field, so even if you draw evenly matched, you can't out their board. Even though they usually don't put up a negate, it's very oppressive because they put up the Secret Village of the Spellcaster with either Beyond the Pendulum and or the Draco Slayer Spellcaster that came out in Darkwing Blast for the TCG, and it makes it so I can't use any of my spells. So if they end on that, we're going to be in huge trouble. They also have some dynamic disruptions, but usually no negates, and that's the key thing, because Floowandereeze can sometimes play through a board if there's no negates, or it can play around one or two negates, but you know, multi-omni negates and stuff, that's where this deck is really going to suffer. And honestly, Konami, those kind of decks should not be in the game. So anyways, the opponent's going through their motions here. They end up going into Beyond the Pendulum after the Electromite, and this is their spellcaster that they end up using with the field spell. You're going to see them now set up the scales. Okay, negated, that's fine. They've got 1 and an 8. So they're going to be able to get 2 from the extra deck here. And off of the Majesty Pegasus Draco Slayer, they search out this Secret Village. And this is also a spellcaster, so they can use it with either one. But I'm like, that shuts off all 3 of my cards. So even if I had the opportunity to Book of Eclipse and shut down their field, I can't do it with that on the field, which is brutal. But because they don't know we're on Floowandereeze, look how oppressive this setup is with Valence, right? The Gallant Granite, they haven't used their normal summon yet. The Gallant Granite is going to search out a rock monster. You might think Nibiru, which would be a good option, but no, it's the Fossil Dyna. And what's funny is the Fossil Dyna stops them from special summoning as well. So it shuts off all of their Valence cards. If I keep this on the field, they're going to be forced to crash it. But I can always advent away whatever I put on the field. So the only thing I have to really worry about right now is, do they have an Ash Blossom in hand? And I know that one of the cards in hand is this spell card that they brought to hand, which is a once per turn, as well as, I don't know the other card in hand, sorry. So with that in mind, I'm like, there's no negates. They have the Chronochasm, which is like a dynamic pop a card on the field. And it is in defense mode, unfortunately, so Empin, you know, won't negate the activation of the card. And we do have to try to play around the Secret Village. But again, the Fossil Dyna is not a problem, and it actually kind of helps us to a certain degree. So they pass turn, and 3 out of the cards in my hand are dead. We have a Valence field spell, which is annoying. And of course, we would top deck the Evenly Match, which we cannot use because of the Valence field spell. So we're going to go main phase 1, and I'm just like, well, I guess I might as well just try. Because last season, when I faced this deck, I just scooped. But I think that my hand was actually not playable because I did not have a Robina in hand. But I had an Advent in hand, but I couldn't use it because of the Secret Village. So now that I hard drew Robina, I'm like, well, I guess they can't really stop the Robina here, but they do have this card, which, let's read it for a second. Quick effect. You can switch the location of 2 monsters in your main monster zones or 2 monsters in your opponent's main monster zones. So it's either one or the other. You can't choose like one from each zone, or one from each opponent, or each player, sorry. If a card in the main monster zone moves to another monster zone, okay, except during the damage step, you can destroy 1 card on the field. So this is their only disruption that they have right now. That's all I have to play through. These scales don't really do anything. And again, we know one of their cards is the Valence field spell, or Valence spell, sorry, which doesn't do anything. And so I'm just like, well, I guess let me just try and play. So we normal summon Robina, normal summon Eaglin, and instead of grabbing Empin, which, you know, thinking this process through, guys, it's very important because this is how you can potentially beat this deck, which seems almost unbeatable when you go second, is you just need to get rid of this card. because you get rid of this card, you can deal with the pop, or you expect them to pop the tribute monster, and then that's fine, because if you have Advent of Adventure, I can always Advent away from map, which I can use with Toucan and get back the Empin, right? Especially, right, if I go Ryza, spin back the field spell, spin back the Chronochasm, and then the Chronochasm is forced to use the effect, which I guess they won't even do, because in order to use the effect, they have to quick effect, move the monster, and then a new chain link, this other effect will activate, right? So they didn't anticipate me bringing Ryza to hand. They thought I was going to bring Empin probably, and they're like, when he brings Empin to field, I'll use the effect to pop the Empin. But we bring Ryza, and Ryza will resolve on the same chain link if they try to chain the moving of the monsters, I think. And then by the time the monsters move, the Ryza effect would have resolved as well, spinning it back to the extra deck, and they would not get the effect to pop a card on the field. Then from there, I can use Advent of Adventure, banish one of these two birds that I'm going to bring back to my hand, and then grab map, activate Unexplored Winds, and then normal summon Toucan, banish the Empin, summon Toucan, bring back Empin. I have the Ryza on field still, so I could go tribute the Ryza and the Toucan, or I could use the Unexplored Winds and tributing off like one of the opponent's card. This card will be off the field by then, so I could tribute off like Beyond the Pendulum or one of their scales and bring out the Empin. So that's exactly what you're going to see me do here, is use the Ryza and spin back field spell, spin back the spell in their graveyard that I know they have in their hand already, so that I know that it's a once per turn, so they're going to draw a brick for turn. And we've just outed their whole board with one single Ryza. We're going to go ahead and bring back both the birds because we anticipate to use Dreaming Town with one of them. And they actually scoop on that Ryza summon, which is crazy. Yeah, we needed to spin back the Secret Village in order to activate our spell, so there's no way around that. They're going to draw it for a turn and activate it, but by that point, we would have already taken out their Spellcaster, we would have taken out one of their scales, probably with the Unexplored Winds as well. So we would have had some decent control of the board, and yeah, we're spinning back the cards to the deck from the graveyard, so we would make it so the Secret Village would be drawn second, so they wouldn't even get it right away. And so because we out their combo, they end up scooping. What an insane match to come back and win for the 20th win in a row. I definitely thought I was going to lose that, but I'm like, why not just try to play it out, see what I can do? And sure enough, I just maybe figure out a way to play around Valence. You just need Robina, right? No spells and Robina, and don't draw evenly match, which we did all of those things, but it's good anyways. I don't know what happened, but when I finished recording that Valence match, I think because I was doing it from the match history, the game like put me back into another match. I think maybe I clicked something by accident, but I heard the coin flip action loss sound, and I switched back to the game, and I was in another match, going second. And I'm like, oh, did I just play like a match before this too and lose because of I timed out when I was doing my Valence recording? But no, we actually won that match, and we didn't play a match before, thankfully. So you can see here, we've now gone on a 21 win streak. We won the rent. Like, I don't even know how I got into that duel, but yeah, I just saw it, and I'm like, well, I guess I have to deal with this now. I wasn't planning on playing another match because, like I said, I got to go to bed. It's close to midnight here because this is really 1 hour later. So yeah, it's like 11:30. But we're gonna take a look at this match now. It's like 11:45. So yeah, I guess I'm losing out on 30 minutes of sleep here, but I gotta see what's going on here. I don't know what happened. So in this matchup, we lose the coin toss and are going second. And when I started this match, I was like, I hope I wasn't like logging matches and like losing games because I was being idle. But this opponent is on Trap Trick, so they summoned Sarah and set for pass. And our hand is technically bricked, but we do have the Pot of Extravagance. And again, for those of you who have commented on the ban list, limiting the Pot of Extravagance to 2, if we were playing 3 Pot of Extravagance, this Jack in the hand would be another Pot of Extravagance. So we would have 2 Pot of Extravagance, one of them being absolutely dead. So the fact that this is a Jack in the hand literally makes our hand playable, which is crazy, because you're going to see that this game is now starting to think, Quantum, you are too lucky. It is time for you to start bricking with Floowandereeze. We draw Double Shifter. I was like, oh god, it's over for sure now. But yeah, the opponent is running Trap Trick Labyrinth, which is interesting. So they're going to go ahead and activate Big Welcome, bring and bounce back Lady, and then special summon Lady to the field. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be a bit of an issue, but they don't know I'm on Floowandereeze yet, and Pot of Extravagance. Maybe they think I'm on like Labyrinth or something else right now. So they're going to go ahead and bring Holitea. And, you know, this card, okay, it doesn't really do much. It facilitates level 4 Xyzes, so we don't have to worry about it right now. We do have to worry about these other 2 back rows, and whatever this card that they bounce back to their hand is, that's actually good for us. An Unknown being bounced back, maybe we can actually break this board. So we're going to go ahead Jack in the hand with Stree, with the Robin and with the Eaglin, the opponent takes the Robin, which is a good tell to indicate that they don't have a negate. But if they have, well, they obviously don't have Ash Blossom, right, because they played their whole hand, but we have the call by for that if they did. And if they do have an Imperm, we do have the Book of Eclipse, which will also eclipse the Lady Labyrinth and also be an interruption so that the Lady Labyrinth can't set a trap off of the activation. So we're in okay shape here. But because we have this card, which I play 2 of now, and oh my goodness, if I did not play 2 of this, I would have lost this game for sure. The Unexplored Winds will make our Eaglin by itself live. So we're going to go ahead and normal summon Eaglin and like hope they don't have an interruption. They don't, because Trap Tricks usually plays things that interrupt against special summon monsters. And so because of that, Floowandereeze is actually not that bad of a matchup is what I've experienced. Yes, the Gravedigger's trap holes hurt, but you can usually chain block your way around it. But also some of like the floodgate trap holes and stuff don't hurt you because you flip face down. That's fine. You just tribute it off anyways. Yes, they go to grave instead of being banished, but you can always banish them with the Stree, etc. So it's not really that big of a deal. So you actually play around most of their traps fairly easily. But with the Unexplored Winds, we're going to out one of their cards, and it's Witch's Strike, which is crazy. And we're going to go ahead and grab the Empen to field, and then chain block the Search of the Empen, which again doesn't really matter. But we're going to go ahead and grab Dreaming Town off that battle phase. We're actually going to take out the Lady. Now Empen doesn't target, right? So it can definitely beat over the Lady by lowering its attack and defense. And of course we're going to banish a Shifter from our hand since they're kind of dead now that we have 2 cards in grave. If we would have got the Stree, you know, we might have been able to play with the Stree, but you know, obviously we need Eaglin to search the Empen here. So we set 3 because obviously I'm not fearing evenly matched, and we pass. And so I'm like feeling really good now. The opponent, again, we knew this was Holitea. They activate the Holitea, and before they can do a rank 4 Xyz play, I'm going to go ahead and use the Eaglin to grab an Apex, and then use the Unexplored Winds to tribute off their level 4 monster, which they could flip back face up if I flip it face down with the Dreaming Town. So I didn't want to risk them drawing into a level 4 and going into some level 4 Xyz play. So I just get the monster off the field because I'm not too threatened by this, given that I was able to resolve everything last turn. That's the mindset that I have going in here. And I do use the Dreaming Town Banish from Graveyard to flip the Holitea that was just summoned face down, which means they don't have a rank 4 Xyz play for sure. They normal summon the Robina and they set 2, so they didn't even have an extension anyways, but again, you just play safe just in case. And so I'm like, okay, I have an Apex negate, so I think I'm pretty good. We draw another dead draw in the evenly matched, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and normal summon Eaglin. The opponent activates Trap Trick, and we're obviously gonna let this resolve because we would just negate whatever they play with Trap Trick. That way they're just locked into that one trap and we can negate it, right? So they're just trolling at this point. They know that they've lost. They go for the Terrifying Trap Hole, which deals with special summon monsters. They don't try to go for Gravediggers or something that can get them back into this game. They've kind of accepted that they've lost. We tribute off the opponent's other set card, and it turns out to be another Witch's Strike, which is crazy. Because yeah, we could Apex negate a summon and just get punished by that Witch's Strike for sure, right? But anyways, yeah, we grab the Snowl, and with these 3 on board, they all have piercing damage now, and we're going to clear out all of the monsters. The opponent's left on 1 more face down card. We have, you know, the negate, the Unexplored Winds to put back the Ryza, the Eaglin to stack the deck with searching the Ryza again, and then summoning it to field. So the opponent kind of realizes that and scoops it up there. So that was our 21st win in a row and our new win streak. Absolutely crazy. I know you guys are probably sick and tired of me going over this win streak, but I don't know, guys. It's kind of a surreal moment for me. I never thought that we would get here. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video for sure. Thank you again if you made it this far. Quantum is out.